G'day all. Mod from Mod Scale Models. I'm back. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about flow coating, what it is and how to do it. So flow coating is a term that is mainly used in the automotive refinishing world, okay, where what it is you get your base coat on, okay, let it completely dry out, and then there's a finishing technique that you apply a thin, even, wet layer of clear, or sometimes straight colour, okay, over a fully cured base, as we said, okay? So what it does, it just makes it smoother, glossier, and more of a uniform finish, okay? So that's key, a uniform finish. All right, so just a quick example before we get a bit more bogged into the technical. If you, and for the purposes of this how-to series on this particular model, I'm doing it all in rattle cans because not everyone's got access to guns, or nor do you want them, or can afford them, or whatever, okay? There's no reason why you can't get pro results with a rattle can, and this is part of the series to show you how. Now, for some reason, if you did get your final coat of clear on and she's a bit dry, a bit orangey peely, and it just doesn't look nice, right? What you do, this is where the flow coat, or even for this, I mean, as you can see by this looks mint, and it's sunk back just a little bit, and I expected that because it's probably got 400,000 coats of paint underneath it, right? So, and I didn't paint strip it for the exercise, and it looks mint. So, and it's been drying for ages, right? Days and days and days. So this is the perfect example of why you can flow coat. So like I said previously, if you've got a bit of a shit finish on it, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but I'll probably have to beep that out. If you've got a crappy finish on it, and this is where the flow coat technique will really come in, okay? So if you apply it correctly, right, the solvents in the fresh coat will soften the existing layer and bond to it, okay? And you give it one good wet coat, sometimes two if you're being a bit cheeky and you think you don't have enough, and then let it dry and let it flow out, and that'll give you your uniform coat, okay? So you still got to be careful because because you're giving it a coat of clear or solid, it will bond to and slightly what we call melt, right? The previous coat. You're still susceptible to runs if you go nutso, okay? So you still got to treat it the same as. Back in the day when I was an automotive refinisher working up in the northern parts of Australia, we used to do this technique a lot with a lot of thinner in our clear back in the acrylic days, and to get the results. So we weren't spending hours rubbing down and buffing. So really good technique. Particularly in the warmer parts of the world, this could be a good technique. Even in the cooler parts, as long as you get your tempo, as long as you get your temp right. And I've spoken about that in other how-to videos, getting your temperature just right for spraying. All right. So you're not really after a film build. You're more after a nice even finish, right? So basically, you're getting a second shot at the title. All right, instead of rubbing it back and buffing it, you're getting a second shot at the title. You're rubbing it back, all right, you're facing it all back, and then you're giving it a flow coat. If you do it right, I guarantee you might not even have to buff. But if you don't get any crap in it and it's got the most beautiful finish on it, you can get away with it. I've got plenty of models where I've done that, right, where I've gone, that's so good, I don't need to put the buff on it, right? So, where do we go to from here? Well, that's pretty much the talking about it. I'll get set up, we'll rub this back, and then we'll hit it with that, and then we'll show you the end results. So, let's crack on. All right, so I've set up So what do we need? Let's get that out of the way. We need some rubbing down paper, sandpaper, all right? And we need some clean water with a little bit of detergent or a bit of soap in it, right? Because we want to take away that friction. And I spoke in detail about that on how to polish like a pro. So if you haven't seen that, pop over and see that. So I won't probably go too much into that, but that is a critical part of what we're doing here, okay? Takes away some of the friction, all right? Sandpaper pads, all right? 1,000, okay? If you rub this down too fine, you're going to have the same issues that we spoke about in the previous episodes about your primer, right? It's not going to stick. It's going to fall off. Worst case scenario, okay? Even though I've told you, or even though I said to you that it does bond and it does melt into the previous layer, right? You still got to give it something to key to. 1,000 grit. You could get a bit cheeky and go 1,200. I've done it many times in the automotive industry, gone a bit of 1,200. But that's predominantly with thinned out clear. So it's a lot more thinner, a lot more strength, a lot more solvents, where it's really going to etch in. But for this exercise, I think 1,200 is fine, right? Now I use the pad for this, all right, because we're not after facing it back to rub out any nasties or anything like that. So the pad will just glide over the top. I use 1,000 from my sponsors, Icky Sticky, all right, .com.au. Go and check them out. So all I do is that's got me plugs out the way, and all I do now is I microfiber towel, right, and I'll just rub the door down. I won't bore you with me rubbing it all down, right, but I'll just show you. Right, now with this, right, we don't want to go al nutse. Just let the sanding sponge do the work, all right? You don't need to push down really hard, because on this I've got, remember in the last episode where I put about 3.5 coats because I run out of clear, right? Well, hence why we're doing the next part of it, because I got some clear in the mail today. I don't have a lot of it in the rattle can sort of hanging around, you know. I normally decant it straight away, but and I always keep one for little bits and pieces, right? But obviously there's been a lot of little bits and pieces, so I didn't have much left. Anyway, I'm waffling. I've got to stop waffling. Told you, I got critics. And they tell me if I'm waffling too much. Now, don't know if that's going to come out, but you can see where it's glossy down the bottom of the door, and you can see where it's faced back and there's no shine. That's what you want. So what you do is just get down in there, right, and give it a little tickle, all right? I used to say to the apprentices, give it a love tickle, and what I meant by that was, you know, you don't want to cut through, right? Or you don't want to cut through, or you got to start again. All we want to do is just face it back to get rid of the gloss, and with that. That's just about there. We've just got to go around that edge. Where's Pointer? Pointer, where are you? Hey, I think I told you, I got a new stand. And I love it. It's really good. You know the round ones? For me, they're giving me the willy. So I've got this one, and it just sits there, and I don't have to go looking for Pointer. So there's a little bit there that needs, a little bit there, and just a little bit there, and a little bit where the waste mould is, which that's going to be painted black, right? I don't know what we're going to do with this model. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where we're at. So you do that, clean it up as you go, face it all back with the 1,000. Okay, face it all back with the 1,000. Be mindful of your edges. Okay, and in my other episodes where I show you how to polish like a pro, I go into detail on how to avoid your edges, right? Rubbing them back. All right, rub them back with the pads. So I'll crack on. I won't bore you with me rubbing this down. I'll crack on, and then when we're ready to hit the booth, I'll come back and we'll flow coat it. Alrighty, so what I've done, I've rubbed it all down with 1,000 and it's looking schmicko on the dicko, and I've put the chrome little decals on, the stick-on transfers. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this body, but for the exercise, I just put them on. Now, someone asked me a question regarding decals and flow coating. If you're putting little badges on like that, well, you're not going to be rubbing them flat because they're recessed in, right? So yes, you could put the decals on, let them thoroughly dry out, then do your flow coat. But if you're putting lots of decals on around your body, I'd put them on straight after your base coat, okay? And then put your 4 coats of clear over the top. And then you can rub it all back, and then you won't get that line if you don't want that line, you know, that edge. So good questions. Hey, you guys you're dropping me some really good questions, and I don't mind answering them, right? And if I don't know, I'll find out. So what are we doing? We're gonna get the old trusty anti-static out, right? Remember what I said, don't forget to do the bottle or your stand. And what I've done, I've put the heater on, because here in Australia, it's a bit cold. We're still in winter, even though I live up north. So, and that leads me, that's a segue to the next little topic before we go ahead and put the final flow coat on. Temperatures. Yeah, ideally 22 degrees. It's the perfect temperature in the perfect world. It's really hard to replicate unless you've got an air conditioning unit where you can replicate it hotter, colder, and all that sort of stuff. If you don't have those abilities to replicate 22 degrees, then you need to paint accordingly. If it's cold, pick a day where it's not so cold. If it's constantly cold, then you got to be careful that you might get some blooming on your clear and on your base coats, and you need to obviously don't, whatever you're applying, like I've said in previous, you might need to back off a little bit. If it's too hot, you're kind of a bit limited with rattle cans, because this is a rattle can series, and you're kind of a bit limited. But I'd be putting, if it's hot, I'd be putting it on a touch wetter so it doesn't flash off really ugly. Ideally, you'd really want to decant this and put it in an airbrush and put some Mr. Color Leveler. That will slow the dry rate down, okay, without getting too technical. But I will do another how-to video covering off on temperatures in a bit more detail. If you guys want it, just let me know. So I took the liberty of giving this about 5 minutes. We're going to go it. I got a brand new can which I got delivered yesterday. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray the final coat, the flow coat, and then we're done. All right, so we'll crank up the engines. And just give it another quick little, and we paint. Just always spray a little bit first. When they're fresh cans, they're at their maximum pressure. So just pass it by, do the bottoms. Don't need to go stupid on the flow coat, right? No rush, just work your way through. And that's it. And that is how you flow coat. Now, honestly, yeah, look, that'll settle down a little bit, and I've put that on probably maybe a touch wetter than I'd like, but I can because I've got the heater running, and it's really quite toasty in here and nice and warm. So, but remember what I said, if you feel that you've gone a little bit too much, you can just rotate it over, right? But that looks, as you can see, that's a flow coat, and I'm seriously telling you, you probably get away without polishing. Look at that. There's not even any orange peel. So, that is how you flow coat your scale model like a pro. So I will come back, I'll let that flash off, and then I'll come back and we'll finish off and talk about a few things. Right. Well, she's flashed off. Let me just put the light on. Have a look at that. That is schmicko on the dicko. That is an acrylic finished scale model. You don't even need to polish it if you didn't want to. If you want to, you're just going to take it from where it is up a bit. But here's the kicker when you do the flow coat. Because it's so smooth, you could get away with just putting I'd say the medium polish on the pad, on the little, bzz, yeah, and then finish it with the fine polish and then wax. Job's done. If you wanted to go up again. But have a look at that. And that's how you do it. So the takeaways from this, how to spray colour in a rattle can. Right? The takeaways is take your time. Let it dry out between coats. Absolutely critical. Don't go el nutso when you're spraying it, because when you're spraying your clear, all the colours that are in rattle cans, right? When you spray it first on, it looks like, oh my God, I haven't put it on wet enough, and it's sitting on top and it looks dry and it looks orangey peely, right? You got to give it a few seconds to settle, and then it will start to flow, okay? And then you end up with a gorgeous finish. All right, so that's the secrets. Take your time. Get it on the angle when you're painting. All right. Let it dry out between coats. Critical. All right, critical. 10 minutes between coats, and then you're done. Now, if this was a brand new body, this would look even better, because this has been painted so many times. I mean, it looks great, but I know just from experience that I could even get it because it's got a slight little sink to it, which is, you can hardly notice it, but I can see it right under all the lights. And that's just, it's been painted so many times. But for the exercise, how good's this come up? So thank you for watching. Hey, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, because it really does make a difference. It keeps me producing these how-to for you guys. As you know, they take a while to produce, and even though, I just love doing it, but it's nice if you guys like and subscribe and drop your comments, and I love the comments. They're fantastic, and I will get back to you. I mean, some of you guys are sort of the opposite side of the world. When you drop your comments, you might not hear from me till the next day, because, obviously when you're writing your comments, I'm asleep. But I promise you, I will get back to you. So I've really enjoyed this. Thank you. And hey, let me know what else you want to see me do, because there's so much, right? Do you want me to do one with full decals and show you how you get rid of that line on the decal under your clear coat? I can show you that as well. I can show you so much. You guys tell me what you want me to do, and then I'll compile it and I'll get it out there. So that's enough from me. Cheers.